Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review we are looking at the Play Arts Kai Sam Gideon from Vanquish. I don't know anything about the character or the show or anything at all because this was sent to me by a customer. He actually sent me a bunch of stuff, so thanks to that. These aren't mine, these are just for review, by the way. So thanks to him for sending these to me so I could show you guys this one, and then we got a bunch of smaller imports also. But this guy looks really cool. I'm going to have to check into the anime just based on this character design. So let's take a look at him. He stands about 23 centimeters tall, which is about 9 inches. So pretty decent size. He came out about 2 years ago, if memory serves, from, like I said, the Play Arts Kai line. And as you can see, this figure is just chock full of detail, and they did all of the panel lining and everything. It looks really, really cool. He's kind of like an off pearlescent white. Reminds me of Beast Wars Dinobot Transmetal 2, which is always a cool thing to be reminded of, so that's really nice. Then just lots and lots of detail with some pops of color. A really nice looking figure. Alright, so let's go through the accessories first. We have an alternate head, so we have the masked head and then we have the unmasked head. And oddly enough, for a Play Arts Kai figure, no glossiness to the face at all. Kind of cool. Looks really good. I like it. And then we also have some interchangeable hands, of course, so you can see the fist hand. We have one for each side. And then, so there's the fist hands. Then we have the open hand here, which is really just your secondary hand for holding the guns. So that's just that. And then, of course, we have our trigger finger hand. So you have one for either side. Even though you only have one secondary hand, it looks like. Still kind of cool. Be careful, I was told that this comes off easily and he had to glue his back on, the little scope or sight. But look at that gun. So much detail. You've got the words on there, the little scope or sight, and all these little accent pieces. Really, really cool looking piece. And just real quick before I go on with the accessories, we do have a little bit of the text going on around the suit, and it does look really, really cool. Alright, let's continue with the accessories. We have a handful of bits and pieces, which are for his thrusters, because these things come off on either side. So you pop these off. They take a little bit of force, but they do come off once you get them going. And then these are labeled left and right with the R and L on there. I'm working on the left, so we need that. So this goes right here. You can just see the little tab holes in there. So these go like that, if I can get them in. Hopefully I can. I've never actually swapped these out before. I just know that that's where they go from the photos. So those go in there. I might not have them in 100% all the way, but you'll get the idea. And then these go in here. And like I said, you can do this on both sides. So you can get them in full thruster mode or whatever they call it, I don't know. And then you get one of these for either side, and these tab in. They're kind of keyed right there. So now he's got his full opened, exposed thrusters. So that's a cool feature. I'm not sure why they made it in 3 parts. It feels to me like they could have probably figured out a way to do it all in one, but that's not a big deal. They did do it. And these, you can't even tell they're meant to come off, really. I mean, it's a really nice job sculpting it. Okay, so let's look at the articulation, and unfortunately some of his joints are stuck, and since it's not my figure I can't force them, but I can still kind of describe them to you, so that's what we're going to do. So we have a double ball peg for the head. It's really exposed, but once you get it posed you should be just fine, and that will allow for really nice range of motion. It pops off easily just because it's meant to be interchangeable, so don't worry about that too much. It's not going to fall off or anything, so that's fine. So much detail. So the shoulder pads are kind of a soft plastic, and they're on a hinge, and they are on a swivel, so they won't really get in the way too much. You should be able to work around them. For the shoulder, it looks like we have a ball peg, ball hinge, so ball peg in there, then a ball hinge, which looks like you should be able to rotate it around, but it's kind of stuck, and then that will give you your, it looks like it'll give you your horizontal and lateral depending on how you rotate it. Again, I can't force it right now. Feels like we have a little bit of a bicep swivel where it connects, but we also get one down here. We have a double jointed elbow. It's a little boxy, but it's not too bad, especially since he's in kind of like a mech suit, so that's fine. Then you can see the ball hinge right there. The hands do pop off a little bit easily, but not so much so that it's really going to be a problem. Just enough that it's worth mentioning. Torso is clearly on a double ball peg, but it's stuck, so I can't force it. Looks like it has a really good range of motion once it's not stuck. We have the floating crotch piece that hides the hip articulation pretty well. Single ball peg going into the lower torso, which gives him a really good range of motion. And then we have the old school ball peg sockets for the hips. So they're not super loose like the Halo figures, but they are borderline, so be careful with that. But we do get a decent range of motion, not the best side to side, but just fine going up. Rotates around the socket, and then the socket itself will rotate. No rotation in the thigh. We get a double jointed knee. This is 2 years old, so we still kind of have ugly knees, but luckily for this character's design, it works. It's not horrible, except for when you're looking directly from the front. And it looks good when it's not out, so that's alright. Then lastly, for the ankle, we get the standard ball hinge. So you can rotate that around to get the ankle rocker if you want to, but you kind of get one just from the way the hinge is connected. So it's a really cool figure. If you're into this anime or this character, I suggest you track one down and pick it up. It looks like it'd be pretty good, definitely worth having. I might have to check out the anime and see if I want to buy one for myself. Looks really nice. So I'll pose him in a couple of poses here at the end without trying to break any of this articulation, so you guys can see him in action. And that'll do it. So thanks for watching. Make sure you click that like button if you did, and make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can see my upcoming figure reviews, custom figures, and other good stuff. And in the meantime, keep collecting.